One of the biggest challenges in life is to achieve happiness without effort. Now, don't get me wrong, I see people doing it all the time. Some people seem to just get everything that they want with little to no effort at all. And that's wonderful. It makes me think that these people must be cashing in on some really great past life karma. But me personally, I have never really been able to relate to those people, like at all. If I ever wanted something in life, I've always had to work extremely hard for it, and usually always start at the bottom and work my way to the top. Some people may refer to this as paying your dues. And there are some really positive things that come from having to make sacrifices and work extremely hard for the things that we're striving for in life. But where most go wrong is that they don't actually put a plan into motion as to what it is that they want to achieve in order to be happy in their lives. And in order to reach your goals, first of all, you have to set them. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about how you can achieve all of your hopes, wishes, and desires by simply starting to set some goals. And I want to share with you a really great method for how you can start today. So first, I want to talk to you about how to identify and set your goals, because if you don't set out to achieve things in life, most likely you won't achieve much. Second, I want to go over why it is important to understand your why for achieving your goals. And then I'll show you how to come up with some of the action steps for moving forward. And then third, I'll also give you a good strategy for how to decide on what you should work on first so that you are sure to accomplish everything that you set out to do. Are you ready? Perfect. Let's jump in. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. So, first thing that you want to do here is think about setting what I call your one big goal. So not just something that you want to accomplish tomorrow or next week, but what is the big goal that you really want to achieve over the next 12 months? Now, that goal has to have 2 and sometimes 3 things in order to be considered a good goal. It needs to be specific, realistic, and if it's a business goal, you actually need to set a projected revenue goal as well. So let's talk about what I mean when I say specific. So something that is not a specific goal is something like, I want to make more money. More money could mean $1 or it could mean $10. You have to get really specific. You also want to attach some type of a time frame onto your goal. So if you say I want to make more money, well, when? When do you want to make this money? So you need to add a time frame as well. When your goal is specific, you're really able to measure it. And if it's a 12-month goal, and let's say you're 2 months in, but you've made absolutely nothing, then it's going to give you some clarity around how you're progressing and if you need to make some changes. So your goal needs to be specific. The other thing is that you really need to focus on setting a realistic goal. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the goal that you set is something that you can actually achieve, because that's going to help you create momentum and help you to set these even bigger goals later on. Now, if you are setting business goals specifically, I do recommend setting a specific and realistic revenue goal. So for example, my business must generate an extra $6,000 in the next 12 months. That would be very specific. When you have a clear focus, it means that you have a target to move towards, which will allow you to easily track your progress. So you really need to get focused, like laser focused, on asking yourself, what do I really want? And then setting a specific and realistic goal to help you get there. That's number 1. By the way, I'm Madison, for those of you who are new here, and I help hairstylists, moms, and female entrepreneurs in general to build their businesses, reach their goals, and discover their higher, more spiritual selves in the process. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel, and don't forget to click that bell notification at the bottom of the screen so that you can make sure you're notified every single time I release a new video just like this one. And don't forget to give me a like. Why do you want to reach this goal? All right, so step 2 is to simply ask yourself, why do you want to achieve your goal? You've now set this big 12-month goal, but why is this important to you? What is the specific reason that you actually want to achieve that goal? The reason why this question is so important is because if you know why you're doing what you're doing, your motivation and drive to achieve your goal will be that much higher. So I really want you to think about what motivates you. So for some people, that might be that they really want to make more money. But what's the real reason that you want to make more money? Like, what's the why behind that? So some people might be driven by money and materialistic things like having a big house and nice cars. And for others, it might be more about giving and contributing to your family and friends and to your community. Or it could be that you just can't stand working in a cubicle and you crave freedom. So the thought of getting up every day and going to a 9-to-5 work job and being told what to do is something that you find extremely demotivating and painful, and you want to escape from that. I could totally relate to that. So everyone's motivation is going to be different, but it's worth taking the time to really think about this, because when you're an entrepreneur, it's not always easy and there's many challenges that you're going to have to face. And you really need to maintain a level of motivation to break through those tough times. You need to have something emotionally linked to why you're doing what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to end up confused and you'll find yourself procrastinating and demotivated, and running your business is going to be very challenging. So let me give you an example of what my why is and why I do what I do. So my mom was a single mom who raised me by herself. She worked 2 jobs and at one point was also going to school. When I was in the 5th grade, she decided to quit her really stable corporate America job of 16 years to pursue her dreams of opening up her own coffee shop and running her own business. Watching my mom do this and being able to accomplish her goal and watching her live her dream was really inspiring and gave me a lot of drive and motivation and belief in myself that I could actually do the same thing. And then when I had my own children, I realized the importance of being able to create your own work schedule. And I also wanted to show my children that they could do anything that they set out to do. And I wanted to instill within them the courage to create their own worth and let them know that they did not need to rely on anybody else except for themselves to generate their own income. And when you have a really strong motivation like that, it really helps to see things more clearly. And you become less focused on the small challenges that you face. You just understand the big picture and you know why you're doing what you're doing. So when thinking about this, you might already know your why, but if not, that's okay. It's not supposed to be a question that's really easy to answer. So it might take you a minute and that's totally fine. As I said, everyone is going to be different here. I really can't stress enough how important it is to take some time to think about this, because it's much easier to succeed when you have a strong motivation. So what are the action steps? So now that you know what you want and why you want it, the next thing that you want to think about is what are the specific steps that you need to take in order to reach your goal. So like, what business could you start, or what products or services could you create? I'll give you an example here. So let's say you want to make an extra $6,000 a year. What you would want to do is think about some of the different ways that you could actually generate that extra income. So first you might say, well, I probably need to book more clients. I probably should create a Facebook ad. But wait, I think I need to learn Facebook ads because that's what everyone else seems to be doing right now. Or I could just run a Groupon. Maybe I could try to upsell to my clients more often. Maybe I should just keep it simple and just try to build up my Instagram account. Maybe I also need to, and the list goes on and on. On this list could honestly be hundreds and hundreds of dot points. So you're gonna quickly discover that when you begin to brainstorm your action steps, you're going to end up with a lot of ideas, which is good. So what you wanna do is you just wanna brainstorm all the ideas of how you can go about achieving your goal. So don't worry or feel overwhelmed about having lots of different options, because you can always eliminate the ones that you don't wanna pursue later on. How to identify what to work on first. Okay, so before we move on, I quickly want to recap as to where we're at. So if we remember what we've done so far, in step 1, we decided what our big 12-month goal is. In step 2, we decided why we wanted that goal. And in step 3, we then brainstormed all the potential action steps that we could think of that could lead us to our goal. But now we have a problem. And the problem is, where do I start? So what I want to do now is show you a process of how we actually identify what we should be working on first. So basically, the 80-20 rule is the idea that 80% of our results come from just 20% of what we do. So putting this another way, only a small handful of actions are really worth doing, and almost everything else can be ignored. So if we know this, then the goal becomes to try and identify only the most important tasks. And then we can focus all of our energy and efforts exclusively on those tasks. So if we just take the example from step 3, where we brainstormed all of the potential ideas for generating an additional $6,000 in the next 12 months, which of these action steps are money-making activities? Because remember, our goal in this example is to generate an extra $6,000 in 12 months. So if that's the goal, then you need to be focusing almost exclusively on activities that directly make you money. So for example, if you're a hairstylist, maybe you could suggest adding in a bond multiplier whenever you lift the hair, or you could, offer a deep conditioning treatment and adding that onto any of the haircuts or hairstyles that come in, or adding in a toner or a gloss treatment as well. And we'll say that you're seeing about 25 clients a week. And let's say that each of your upsells you're charging $30 for. Now, if you only upsold to 10 of those clients every single week, you would be generating an extra $1,200 a month, or $14,400 a year, doubling your goal for that year. And when you break it down like that, the goal becomes so much more achievable. So the action step is either moving us toward our goal or it's not. There's no gray area. And when you make it that black and white, making a decision as to what's an important task and what's not becomes much easier to answer. And once you've accomplished your first action step, then you go back to your list and you reassess your priorities again, because obviously things can change, and of course should be constantly revising and updating your lists. But you also want to go through this process over and over again and keep identifying your one thing so that you always know what to do and when to do it. So I really hope that you got a lot out of this lesson. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I wish you guys all the best in setting and crushing every single one of your goals. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.